For today, it's Petra Wohrman. She will share her passion for typography, calligraphy, hand lettering, and ink with us. Happy to have you here.
Thank you very much for your introduction, and I'm very happy to be here. It was a big surprise about 2 weeks ago that Christina asked me to speak here. And yeah, I will talk about ink, about my work, about my path. And first of all, this is important, I'm very, very nervous because it's the first time that I speak in English. It's not like that I do it every day, so when I lose the words, I will ask you and you will help me. I think that we do it together. And it's like feeling that I would like to have a grappa, so that I'm not so nervous. So, well, let's start. Where do you want to go? Where I want to go? That's a question I ask myself, not maybe every day, but quite often. And it's very important for me because I really want to do things I enjoy. That I can look in the mirror in the morning, that I really do things which are not bad, which are good for me or which are good for others. Or yeah. Where do you want to go? It's a lettering, and later I will explain the difference between lettering, calligraphy, typography, and I will start about a little bit about my work. So, I began after my studies in Nuremberg in France. I was looking around for an agency because I was really online web designer, interface designer, and I was one of the first flashers and a flash designer. And I wanted to go to Munich because my parents lived here and my mother was very ill. And but the agency the nicest people maybe, they came from Hamburg, and they offered me a great job to be in the creative team for the Audi, for Audi, and they said we come to Hamburg for 3 months, we build up a creative team, and then we moved to Munich to open a branch of our agency. It was a big agency, a worldwide agency. March 1st doesn't exist anymore. And I got to Hamburg with all my things, with my car. I moved to Hamburg. And then they offered me also that they will pay a flight every weekend to Munich, that I can see my mother. And that was really, really great. So Tuesday, the secretary in the agency asked me, do you want to go to Munich or to Nuremberg? And I said, oh, tomorrow I would like to fly to Munich. And then I had the ticket in the morning right at my desk. That was really, really great. So, Hamburg, Munich, Munich, and then it wasn't 3 months, it was 1 year in Hamburg, and then we returned. Then I returned to Munich. And yeah, 1 year in Munich, still in the agency, and it was really a great job to work for 2 years for one brand, for this automotive. We were a girls team in the creative team, 5 girls, and all the other girls, boys who worked in other teams, were a little bit Neidisch, jealous, because only the girls made this automobile thing. So, okay, after I decided that I would like to not only to do the web design, because I felt that I would like to do these things, something haptic in my hand. And we created wonderful websites, and after some months, they didn't exist anymore. They faded away, and it was like the wind. And I was looking to my friends, other students who worked with books or with the print design, and they had a collection of a lot of things, and they bibliothek, library, you know. And well, I had only the data in my computer, and it was when I turned it, or when I clapped it. So I couldn't. When I closed it, I couldn't see nothing anymore. So I decided to quit the job, to do more print design. I was a freelancer in other agencies, still making websites, but I followed really my heart, and I was looking for a free room, a space. I found it in Schwabing. It was an empty, a roof. Thank you. And I shared it with a fashion designer, and we renovate all the ground and the walls, and it needs about 2 months. And then there was the point that the time that I could start my free work, and I was looking forward. So I was so happy to sit there. And then was the moment where I had to start. And it was not easy to start, yeah. When you're always using the tools from Photoshop to go to a real tool, it's not that easy. Maybe someone know this. So I was there sitting on my desk, and I had a big one white paper. And I was frightened from this paper, and then took another one, a smaller one, and a smaller one, and a smaller one, and at last it was like this. So the format from this little notice. And I didn't really what I could do, so I remembered, I get a great gift from an old man, it was the grandfather. And these letters, it was not that I had to do it myself, but it was something what I can use, only for stuff. And I saw these arrows here, and all the web designers, they need really these arrows all the day. And so it was, okay, I have arrows, I can start. So I took an arrow, and I wrote, where? And I asked me, where I go now. And because I didn't know what to do or how to draw, what to draw, I wrote. So I started writing, and the arrows, and I saw, what will I do tomorrow, what will I do now, today, and yesterday. And I draw this red point. It's okay, that's me, the red point, and there was the arrow, and where I go, and here these circles are like it's the present, it's like a nest. It's nest, okay, like a nest where you be, here in the middle, where you feel at home, where you are safe. But I don't want to be safe. I want to be go outside, and I want to do something new. And I was curious, and I want to be more courageous, and I also knew that I had to be a little bit more disciplined. So I thought it's better not to have a big security area around you, but to go, So, and I wanted to have a live where I go forward. So this was my images, and I went at last I had 2 arrows to go. So, and there we are typography, calligraphy. Oh, it's a mistake. so lettering. So what are the differences? I lost the microphone. Okay, yes. Typography. It's it's arranging type. I only want to explain the little differences so you can understand the images later. So it's like arranging time. We have all the fonts in the computer. Use them. So. Easy. Calligraphy, it's writing time. Yeah, it's not drawing, it's writing, it's really writing. You have wonderful shapes, you have historical scripts you use, but you write it. And lettering, it's an example for writing. And lettering is really to draw and to paint type. Maybe you use different styles and shapes and you make a combination of it. Yeah? So, for example, this one, it's I took a historical shape. It's a type of a fracture, and I pointed the shade. So it's a little bit drawing, but it's also a construction, and it's not only writing, it's lettering. So then. I was very, very happy, and I'm very happy to have really good friends, because some surprises in life I came because some friends recommended me. And I remember it was a Tuesday in the afternoon, about 4 o'clock. I got a telephone call, and there was I only was writing for my pleasure or for Christmas cards for my friends, but I didn't do it to earn some little bit money. And there was the chief of the Louis Vuitton marketing department. I was really surprised. I was a little bit shocked. I couldn't believe it on the phone. And she asked me whether I would like to write for a big event. It was some years ago, the grand opening of the Louis Vuitton Maison, the residence, of the opposite of the residence, post-Berlin, no one. And I said, okay, yeah. And I asked myself how she comes to me. And she didn't answer, but she said whether I could come tomorrow to show them some calligraphy work. And I said, oh, I would like to do, but on Monday, 4 days, a little bit later. But I had no work, I had nothing to show because it was my job to do this. So I had 4 days, and I wrote day and night that I presented my calligraphies on Monday in the morning, and it was like a casting. There were 12 writer or calligrapher who showed them the work, and they chose 3, and I was one of them. And it was the first job I ever had in calligraphy, and it was really a big thing for me, so it was really great. So it was 2 days, Thursday to Wednesday, 8 hours, and we were and 3 calligraphers. It's only my handwriting, it's not a special style. I only showed them how to write because there were hundreds of people, and we had a table, we were standing, and there was a queue. And we had these cars, and the only thing was that we should write the words they wanted us to write, or greetings from this opening. And we tried to. The manager said we have to prepare some cards like this one, but at the end I didn't use them because it's not very personal, and I don't want to write share, and then they write the name after. So it was really always in front of the people. We wrote 8 hours, and sometimes after 1 or 2 hours you lose the nervosity. you lose to be nervous because yeah, you have to write. There's no chance, so there's no time to get to be nervous anymore. The only thing was we were dressed in the Louis Vuitton, and we had these 8 centimeters of high heels, and it was the most hard thing on this job, because after 8 hours you can imagine you can't even walk anymore. And when they said at 5 o'clock, okay, we can go, I said, no, I can't go anymore, please let the guests go, and after that I will like this, because I couldn't stand, but I couldn't move anymore. So, okay, after Louis Vuitton, there was MS at Christmas time in the following year, and they booked me to write for their guests always this Christmas Saturdays. And I had a table and I created. It's always handwriting. That's the thing they wanted me to do. So it's the easiest thing for me. And then I wrote. I'm still writing for an agency. The invitation when they have this is for Tory Burch when they open the shop, and sometimes I have to or I can write hundreds of invitations. It's a huge certificate, the name for it. So. Then I work with Graf Faber-Castell together for we have events in the shops, and I write some quotes for them, or invitations also when they have a press conference to present their new fonts and paints. I write, they book me always. So there's some example where I showed the different colors of ink which are going with the letter paper. So that's look like when I'm writing in the store, a lot of quotes, and then the people come and take one what they wanted to take. So. Okay. I would like to talk about the tools, it was always when I saw the Photoshop, I said, oh, there are the tools here and there are the colors here, and now I have my colors and my pens. I like it very much to work with both. So it's one of it's a Redesfeder, Schnurrzugfeder, or it's a speed ball nib. I have here these 4 categories of nibs, and I will give it to you so you can give it around. So, when you write with this tool, it looks like this. It has always the same line. Right? The next one, it's in German it's a Wandzugfeder, the broader name, which is like it's cut. It can be diagonal from right to left. Or left means it depends where your hand, left or hand, left or right hand writer. And the same, we have these big poster names, and I love them really. It's like this one. Yeah. And when you write, it looks like this. We made the old styles where the monks wrote. It's a fracture which looks like a net. Yeah. It's old styles. Oh, this is it's a letter from the Bataille. It's an old style, but it's different. It's a personal interpretation from home. Oh, it's now I want to go. Don't wait, do it now, not tomorrow. of freedom. It's very important for me, and I mix the style from old historical shapes with new ones. It's an own interpretation of, for example, matinee. So, then we have another one, it's a Spitzfeder, the pointed nib, and that is here on and there's there are different one. It's for the fine lines, it's for the for shapes, and there are a lot of different antique nibs you can buy, and antiquariaten. Yeah, I think you understand me. Okay, and the other modern thing and more easy as a tool for this is the fountain pen. Yeah, and they are, well, you don't have the difference from the line, but with these nibs you can, when you have when you draw a line and when you pressure it, yeah, you have a thin and then you have a thick line, and it's wonderful to work with. And with the fountain pen, you don't have these differences. A little bit, it depends on the quality of the. So it looks like this calligraphy. The next one is here Capicolato, which I would like to have. First, I'm still nervous. And you see, when you draw a line, you have a thin one, and when you press it with the snip, you have the thicker one, and it's a wonderful tool. It's my favorite one. For example, this one. The art speaks from soul to soul. For Christmas, it was for a bridal label. Actually, and that is, you see here what is possible with the snip when you have a really good nib. We have the brushes, and the Japanese brushes, or you can take also from the people who paint the wall, and you can draw the really big letters, and when you do big letters in fraktur, for example, it looks great. Yeah. It's most of the graffiti fans, graffiti people use it. So some examples: calligraphy. It's reserved with a brush. And sometimes I write a quote or some words, and I'm so concentrated in the forms and the shapes that I wrote wrong. So it's a girl best friend, and I wrote that because it was not that important. I was concentrated in the shape. So it's a normal thing that I write, and at the end somebody else takes up, oh, that it's a wrong letter, or you missed the letter, and you made work about 2 hours or 3 hours, and you didn't recognize that was wrong. So sometimes when I really have some work which I give to a client, I have to draw it with a Bleistift, with a pencil, so that I've asked someone to have a look at, because sometimes I don't see the mistakes there, den Wald vor Bäumen nicht mehr. So. Letters are my friend. That was for 2 weeks. I brought in a workshop which gave in our field a very famous sign painting artist from the States, from Minnesota, Mike Mayo, and he is one of the people who are brilliant to science. Other tools are it's a bamboo nib, or this is nib which uses companies to draw their lines, the 5 lines to draw the notes on it. And with this one, for example, I draw this. Yeah, you see here the still lines. Again, a wrong letter. Doesn't mind. Or with another thinner brush, tango. And I like to write with a screwdriver, Kugelschreiber. Yeah, so it's like fine loops. And I mix it. So, what I really love is why some people maybe go on the holiday to all the museums. I take my time and I go in the cafe and sit there for hours and I look around for what's going on, what does the people beside, not what they are talking, but all the impressions around me, and I brought some impressions with me. Here I wrote calligraphy, and I enjoy it. Some quotes. The most beautiful thing is the black sheet of paper before you put a pencil or a pen on it. Or to it, and I'm still laughing about it because I was so frightened the first time when I went in my atelier with this blank sheet of paper, and it was not the wonderful thing for me. But now it is. With other letters. Or yeah. It's the shapes here. The script is something between handwriting and it's a Spencerian. It's in English. It's in we say in German English. I forgot the word. I'm too nervous. It's a Spencerian. It's a quite difficult writing to do. Thank you. Sometimes, or very often, I feel very thankful for the people who recommend me. So now I'm here on holiday. I was in Venice, and I was in Cafe Florian with the expensive cappuccino, but it was worth. It's really a theater there to sit there and to eat. I was there about 2 hours, and there some people they're reading while they're looking around. I'm looking around and I write. I cannot say that these shapes are really adapted to the place, but the sea from the cafe I saw there. Well, it's like a written diary, yeah, with words, with calligraphy. Piazza Santa Margherita is one of my favorites. I had an aperitivo. And then I saw this wonderful sign, cafetier, and that from its precipice with tier. That's what I had in mind when I saw this. Then in another copy there was a cameriere, ein Kellner, a waiter, and he had a T-shirt with "In stupid we trust." Good. So I wrote it my style. At the same time, there were 2 Italian old ladies, very, very elegant, and the other asked to the another lady, "Sei contenta?" And they said, "Yes, today I'm contenta. No, I don't feel ill. It's fine." And it was so nice to hear these, so happy to sit there, really old, I think about 80 years, having a presser together, joy light, so I wrote it down. Some impressions. Yeah, that was on the door on the bathroom. You're beautiful, no matter what they say, so it's a nice thing to see. I'm sitting, I was also in this cafe that I only write what I see. So when I read this some years later, I know exactly the atmosphere and what I saw. And I hear the noises in my ears. We had a wonderful terrace at the hotel. Enjoyed it very much. Always hours each day. And sometimes I make some sketches for projects. Look like these. So another thing which I'm very, very thankful that a friend asked me some years ago, 4 years ago. They phoned me, I was ill at the time, it was winter, and they asked me whether I could do a calligraphy course at a private graphic design school. I said, well, I never taught, I'm not a teacher. They said me, yes, but I think you could do this because we really need one. The teacher can't do this job anymore, he's very ill. And we need a person who would teach typography for the next 3 weeks on a block. And it was very hard to find someone who had really this time because this was 3 days later. So I said, okay, it's a challenge, so I prepared this knowledge because it's better to talk, to teach micro typography. And when you use it every day, that's another thing than to teach it. So I bought a lot of books, and I was thinking about how you would teach typography when you or what. I missed a good typography teacher in my studies, and so I tried to teach all the things I missed. And these are some present from my verses. I'm not only typography. The start is always with calligraphy because it's important that the people feel the shapes, and when they only use it without drawing it before, I think they don't have really the feeling with it. And it's very easy for students to learn the spacing when they draw. They see it better. Some impressions. Yeah. And I confront my students always with the current script. It's a script our grandfather or mothers learned. Maybe you know it still. And it's a wonderful shape that's straight, and sometimes for the students it's very easy to start with it because it's so regular. And when we have, it's much easier for them to start with this manufacture, for example, these shapes where you have to draw big circles, which at the beginning are always wrong. So it is some impressions. Or we draw a lot. We start with it to exercise how to use the nips and how there's a pressure when you draw with them. So. And it's always the same that the students, they are talking at the beginning, and when you do it with 3 or 4 days, it's so quiet. All they are so concentrated in their work, and it's really a great atmosphere. It's like it's like a meditation when you do it, and we know that the monks, well, in Japan, when they write, they do really, they meditieren. You do meditation before it to feel you have to be relaxed enough to do it. Yeah. When you are angry or your heart is beating, you can't write. So, some impression from the students. So, and then when they are ready to start with constructions, we go on with to construct really letters. sketches. And yeah, there are some images from students, and I gave them some task like, please draw a letter with a sun and with a sick branch, for example, or they should be more condensed than white, and after you into the opposite or something like that. And these are really the first beginning, so it's not what it's perfect, but it's nice to see when they try to get to start with these sketches. And it's great to see then the first letters. So, some projects. This, for example, was for a bio-cotton fashion label, which was in Munich and also of the island of Lesbos. That is one of, I do a big project with a friend, and I have two images here, and it's written here with a screwdriver, and I have the original here. It's like this. Schraubenzieher, nein, das ist kein Schraubenzieher, also ist der Kugelschreiber. So. Das wäre ein bisschen hart. So, that's the original, and then I do a scan, and I wrote no is a full sentence, for example. The next one, it's why not now? Oh, yeah, it's a close-up. So the next one, it's a motive one of now, because it's sometimes I feel that I hesitate to do things, and well, I made an image from it, and it's this one, and I mix this on the computer with the fonts, and this is a step I found in France. I like it very much. It's the image that you go step by step by step, but go forward. Don't hesitate. It's a close-up. Sometimes I teach a lot of rules to my students, or I have a lot of rules, or the society gave you a lot of rules, and sometimes it's good to say, okay, forget them all. With this one. So it's a lettering that it's this is made with a brush, and this is just a fine line on the up points. Happy Easter for invitation. So that's my last before last. Love letters. That's all. It's a typical lettering. It's only lines and loops. It's a point, and it's constructed. I wrote love letters because I was talking with a friend, and she said it's about years that I didn't get a love letter anymore, because her boyfriend sent her a love letter with an email, which is not very personal, and or with a WhatsApp or SMS like this. So it's always great to write a real handwritten letter, and it's much more worse than 10 years before, maybe. So when you have a girlfriend or a boy girlfriend, write a letter by hand. It would be right. It's a wonderful gift for them. So so I'm finished, more or less. I brought a part, and I offer you that I wrote your name or some words words on the card when you want to, here after the talk. And we have also placard outside.
We have a table in the poster outside, and we would like if you would leave your signature or some note or grußwort, whatever, at the entrance area here for us. Thank you very much, Petra.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to skip actually the question part, and because Petra, as Petra said, she will be here. If you have questions or you want to have a conversation with her, she'll be here. She brought her cards, her postcards. She's happy to sign them for you if you want. And thank you for coming, and please grab another coffee.